It's great to see everybody. Thanks for coming. We're happy to be at home. It feels like it's been a while, and looking forward to this game against Wichita State. I think one thing that's so special about college basketball, college sports in general, are the rivalries that you had. This is a long-standing one, not just here in the American Conference, but years ago in the Missouri Valley Conference. So we're looking forward to playing at home and playing in front of our fans. Of course, coming off a good performance by our guys, a win that was just really important for our young group to be able to come away with one on the road, be able to finish it off, although it was closer than what we had hoped at the end. But credit Rice to the way that they battled, and but something that we can continue to build from. So, but good day of practice yesterday. Excited to get after it again today and get ready for this one tomorrow.
Just so we can get it out of the way, what happened at the end of the game? What took so long? What took so long on the review? What were they reviewing? I never even caught the answer to that.
Yeah, so that there was. So in regulation, you can review common fouls, and the explanation that I ended up receiving was they were reviewing. They had a foul, and they were reviewing to see if it happened in regulation. You can still review after the buzzer if you feel like it was flagrant. They weren't reviewing for that, and so but they were trying to see if the foul occurred within the time, within the .2.
Were you aware of that as it was happening, or were you as confused as everybody else?
I wasn't totally aware of that as it was happening, and it was of course, a frantic moment, frantic part of the game, and the officiating crew was trying to get to that part as soon as possible. And of course, I was looking for information. The Rice coaching staff was looking for information, and it was certainly a frantic time. So that's kind of the challenging with basketball. I mean, in football, you have officials that are announcing it to the entire crowd what's happening, and in that particular moment, we just didn't quite know what was going on.
So with all that being said, the lack of road wins was well documented. I think Bruce had over 700 days or whatever it was. I'm sure that took a toll on you as well. I'm sure that you keep that in mind. So with all that being said, when that process is happening, are you thinking like, oh gosh, here we go again? Like, how are we not able to steal one here finally and get out of here with a win? Like, is that going through your head at all or not?
Not at all. I don't think about any of that stuff.
Okay, good.
Like, I think about what's going on in the moment and how to help the team in that moment. I think the thing that's so incredible about basketball is been doing this a while, and there's so many situations. Like, that was one that hadn't really been a part of before, and you really don't even see it on video, where it's .2 in the corner and just trying to organize your team. So that's where my thoughts are. If they have free throws, what's next? Just all those types of things. This is all about constant growth for us and just constantly trying to help our team. So I don't think about any of that other stuff. It's all about the moment and how to get better.
Dan? You were just talking about that growth. How does a game like that, where it's so weird and Rice is coming down and they're just hitting three, and there's kind of a barrage there, for the team to hold together and stay strong through the end of it?
So yesterday in practice, we showed our team examples of another game where it was really wild. And actually a game that was just happened on Saturday, where a team was down by a lot, came back and forced overtime. So I wanted them to know that the game is never really over, that at this level of basketball, with the talent that we go up against, that you've got to just keep playing. And I thought for a moment that there was a little bit, when we got up 7 with 33 seconds left, there was a feeling of, okay, we got this. And we've just got to keep going, especially against a team like Rice, who's so dangerous from 3. And then we talked about the certain situations and things that we need to do of time and score, and how many possessions, if they're scoring 3s compared to if they're scoring 2s, to not foul, just all that type of stuff. And in practice, we spend time on special situations almost every day. But we're spending so much more time on the 90% of the game. And just to be able to give our guys experience of, hey, this is where we still got to keep pushing. And from who's taking the ball out of bounds to just a number of different things. So they now have this experience. They can always relay back on it, and whether it's the next game or some of these guys decide to coach 10 years from now, whatever it might be, they can rely on these moments.
And then we talk a lot about PJ for his conference accolades, and now he's starting to appear on national lists and National Freshman of the Year candidate and all that. How is he handling that while also kind of staying grounded and staying in the moment?
I think one of PJ's great strengths is he's just really the same guy every day. You know, he's very even emotionally. He's got a fire that's inside, but he's got a routine of when he comes in here and the extra work that he puts in. I don't see the moments getting too big for him. Like, he just loves to play, he loves to get better, and wants to try to help the team win. So that's where I think he's been impressive beyond his years of not getting too wrapped up in the other stuff on the outside.
Going back to the Rice game, I'm sure you've had time now to look at the play. Are you surprised that they called it afterwards? Did you think it was a foul live?
Yes, I've looked at it several times, and of course, like to be able to defend it better. The play, as I told the team, is 0.3 seconds or less, you can only tap the ball. And so in the moment, I felt like soon as their player put two hands on the ball and made it a catch, that, okay, that's going to be too much time. Now, it was a bang-bang play, and so I'm thankful that it was called the way it was in the end, even if it had to take a little extra time.
Paul Mills coming back here into town. Curious how much interaction you've had with him and kind of what maybe, I guess, stories or kind of interactions you've had with him over the years of coaching.
Yeah, I've known Paul for a long time. In fact, I'm trying to think the first time I remember one time, I was an assistant at Miami, he was an assistant at Baylor, and we were both doing a Northeast prep school trip, and the way their practices were organized is you could kind of hit several in a day, and might as well have shared a car because we were just like in every gym at the same time over the course of that day and a half. And I just remember spending time with him there, and then being at ORU, and even when I was at Louisiana Tech, we had a lot of the similar events, and got great respect for him and the job that he's done and is doing at Wichita State. And of course, knowing that this is a game that's got great history, it's one that we're looking forward to, and wish Wichita State well at any other time other than, of course, these games.
What's the scout looking like on Wichita State and just bringing in a rivalry like that here to Reynolds for tomorrow?
They're a team that they played a really good game against SMU on Sunday, and they're doing it in a number of different ways. They've had some close games, and where they've been right there. They got off to a great start at FAU. They were right there at the end against East Carolina. So they've just had some close losses. I think that you look at Rogers and the way that he shoots the three, and I think it's a different type of team, whereas Coach Mills' our ORU team's really heavy on the three-point line. This Wichita State team will shoot threes, but they're doing so much of it in the paint, either with drives, even post-ups, but then getting it on the glass. And I think that's the thing that we're really concerned about, is just our ability to rebound against their size, because they are really big. And they put a lot of pressure on you with the dribble, with the cut, and got to be able to guard the paint. And then they're very opportunistic from three. They got a number of guys that shoot them, only a few that shoot them often. But once that shot goes up, the play is really beginning. And even on the other end, Raven, they've got such size at the 5. They play in drop coverage. They ice the ball screens on the side. They're just trying to really force teams into shooting mid-range twos. And we got to make some of those, but we can't take the bait and just live on that.
TJ?
Asked Coach Nell about not overlooking East Carolina. They played North Texas on the weekend, best team in the conference. It's a rivalry game, so you're not going to overlook Wichita State. Does that help, having a game like that before you go and play the tied for the top team in the league, the Florida Atlantic? Does that help, having a game like that where you're not worried about your guys looking into the future of this weekend?
I think our guys, and we talk about it all the time, the depth of this league and how every game is, there's clusters in the standings right now, but even outside of the clusters, there's evidence of, for prime example, Wichita State beating SMU. UTSA in their games, like there's such evidence of great play across our entire league. So I know our guys are excited to play at home again. Of course, we've told them, I like giving them history of games, and we're the 113th team in Tulsa basketball history, just letting them know how many times this game has been played against Wichita State. So I don't sense anything other than, and no matter who we'd play, just a next game mentality, a next play mentality. We're completely rooted in that.
Any more questions? Barry?
Coach, talk about how well your Houston guys handled going back to their hometown against Rice the other night, because they all seemed like they did really well.
Yeah, Bear, I thought they handled it very well, and we got a major boost from their friends and families. I mean, the number of people that attended that game that were cheering for Tulsa was awesome. And so you have those four guys, our other guys from the Dallas area, their families came. We also had 200 people, and there was an alumni event beforehand, and many of them came. We had former players, Anthony Price and Brandon Swanigan was there. But I thought our guys handled it very, very well, and so appreciative of the friends and family for giving us a lift, because there was a great cheering section for us. But really proud of our guys I thought Jared Garcia played really well. Josiah McWright gave us a big boost. He played 21 minutes and did some really nice things. Tyson Arce, and then of course PJ. I thought he played such a mature game where he scored in the last second of the first half for the first time. And he did a really good job of taking what the defense gave him and finding other people, and then exploded in the second half. So really proud of all of our Houston guys, and thankful for everybody that came.
Bruce?
Coach, this may be a little offline, and hopefully it's not too much inside basketball, but the other day with your team, prior to one of the meals, you shared a historic story like you like to do, but it was about a Muhammad Ali. So, I mean, you don't just do basketball, but you'll do other things as well, just to try to make a point sometimes, right?
Yeah, no, we talk about studying greatness and across a number of different levels, and just I think there's so much to be learned from stories, and maybe I like biographies, I like movies based on true events, and just try to provide some context to guys about you earn what you get. And it was a story about Muhammad Ali and Ernie Terrell in the famous boxing match. It was in Houston, almost 57 years to the date that we played, and just about having great pride in our name, Tulsa, and trying to earn respect. And you earn respect going out and doing hard things out on the floor and doing it consistently well. And just again try to provide some context to guys about history, that we're a blip on the radar, but we want to be able to take advantage of the opportunities we have to create our own legacy. And I thought the guys wrapped around that pretty good, and we played well, and we're going to want to continue just to take steps forward.
Yeah, and the story was Ali's opponent wanted to call him Cassius Clay and not Muhammad Ali, and that I thought was really interesting.
That's right. No, some of the guys had seen the movie Ali, and there's a scene in there about, and in boxing there's one-on-one matchups and there's head games that go along with it, but that Terrell just wanted to keep calling him Cassius Clay, and Muhammad Ali was having him on the ropes and just kept saying, "What's my name? What's my name?" And until he relented and then finally let him have it and won the match. So, we were just talking about the battles of playing for your name, and I know our guys, and I know I speak from experience, very proud to be a part of the University of Tulsa, the city of Tulsa, and that's our name, Tulsa, and we want to fight for our name.
Anything else, guys? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.